Hi, Taylor. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing? Thank you.
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. You want to go ahead and come back to my office?
Yes, ma'am.
How was your drive over? Did you have an okay time getting here?
Yeah, it was good. Traffic was pretty normal today, thankfully. So,
Good, good. So I just wanted to go over a little bit about what we went over last session. I know we went over the policies and procedures of the clinic last session, and we briefly discussed solution-focused counseling. That is a modality of counseling that I practice here at the clinic. Um, This is a type of counseling that, allows the client to create a detailed picture of their own life, and what their life would look like if their best hopes from therapy had been achieved. It's not really determined by the problem, and it's more of a positive way of looking at therapy. It's not focused on the problem, but more focused on the solutions and the goals that we can attain from this counseling. Does that sound good to
yeah.
you?
Yes, ma'am.
How would you describe, or how would you describe the problem that brings you in today? What is your best hope for life?
Yeah, I would say that my end goal and desire is to just determine if the career path that I'm on right now in terms of military chaplaincy seminary is where God's calling and leading me to. Just maybe some help navigating that.
So you're feeling kind of uncertain that if this is the right path, I guess. Is that kind of how you would describe the problem?
Yeah, um, seminary is a very long and it's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy and effort, and I've just had some just doubts along the way, and then I just feel like I've never really felt solid in my believing that God's called me to this, and so I just think I'm just at a like a crisis point of like, hey, is this really where I want my time and energy and effort in this part of my life being expended on something that I'm not even really concretely sure that God's calling and empowering me to do. So, um, yeah, I would say I'm kind of feeling, I guess, lost or
Sure. And I mean, a career path is, that's a huge part of your life. That's a very stressful part of your life. So it's totally normal to, feel some kind of feelings of wanting to be, totally confident in this is your path of life and this is what you want to do. And, that makes total sense. Um, so now what would be kind of a goal that would help you feel like you were more confident in your calling and more confident in your career path? What is something that you would like to achieve out of these sessions? What would help you feel better about, your path and your calling?
I would say just confident. Like I guess I'm kind of out of whack in some areas of my life, like my health and just like my study habits too. Just so I'm not a lazy person, but I guess I kind of feel that way when it comes to school and schoolwork and just um, hitting those deadlines. Like I said, I have a full time job and I'm in seminary full time, so I don't know if it's just is it laziness or just maybe like not time management or just too much class load, but just I guess maybe organizing my day because I've got my associate's degree and my bachelor's degree, and I had structure, and I guess it's just different, like not being on campus, not being a part of a cross country team, not being an ROTC, not being, in the environment where I'm there every day and just saturated with it. It's like I have my um, military duties and my full time work duties as well. So maybe just getting some structure in that.
Sure. So you kind of feel like, studying habits and some of the other parts of your life are kind of chaotic, and you think that is kind of making you feel like you're confident that this is your career path because other things are kind of out of whack, and you don't feel like you're positive that this is what you want to be doing because everything else is out of whack. Is that kind of correct?
Yeah, and maybe if I did get those things kind of in place, I could determine like, hey, I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing my homework, I'm in the flow, but like it's just maybe it's just really not where I need to be. I'm just trying to determine like, hey, is this not my calling, or am I just in a season of just really struggle mode, um,
Sure.
and just maybe get some help and getting some of those things squared away. Maybe that would help kind of kickstart me and give me that motivation. Like, yeah, like, hey, God is calling me, and no matter how hard it gets, like, He's empowering me. He's giving me the strength to know I should do this, and or maybe I could just kind of dial it down and say, hey, the best I could, but it just wasn't. This is not where my efforts need to be.
So what would it look like to you to um, get your other to kind of get the things in your life that feel out of whack to make them feel more aligned? What would that look like for you? What changes would need to be made from what you're doing today to kind of get you to feel like you have, all those other parts of your life that feel a little out of whack, maybe more in line?
Well, I definitely believe setting up a structured study system,
Okay.
um, that would be good. Where I ensure that I'm studying and getting everything done on time and then learning the material.
So maybe establishing a set routine or a set time every day that you could have that you set aside and you know that you're going to study during this time. You think that would be beneficial for you to kind of help you feel like, maybe if you were ahead of the school stuff, a little ahead of your work, you wouldn't feel so overwhelmed that, maybe this isn't your calling and school isn't going as well as you'd like it to?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I think that would definitely help, because then maybe like the amount of work the consistent work that I'm pouring in would reflect um in my amount of grades, and it would just like you know just help me push along.
Sure. So now on a scale of 1 to 10, with, you know, well, on a scale of 0 to 10, with zero being, the absolute worst that you've ever felt, you don't feel confident at all that this is your calling, you don't feel like you're in the right path, maybe school isn't, what you need to be doing, to 10 feeling like this is exactly what I'm being called to do. I feel totally confident that this is, my goal in life, and school and everything is, falling in line. Where would you place yourself right now on that scale?
So 0 being totally unsure of calling, and 10 like solid on my calling.
Yes.
I would say a 4.
A 4?
Week
Okay.
week 4. Yeah.
A week 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And now what would you want to do to just move yourself up maybe one number from this? What would that look like for you? What is any change that you could see that would just move you maybe up one number from a 4 to a 5?
um yeah, like maybe just like being able to apply that same tenacity that I have when I train my clients and go exercising all towards my homework, and just seeing that played out, and getting a good grade on a test, and just doing good on my homework. Man, like, yeah, like, I'm one step closer to being able to go out and do the work of a military chaplain.
Absolutely. Well, I think, that's a very attainable goal. I think, we can have you set up a schedule every day to do your homework, and, we can see if that helps you improve your grades and if that helps you feel more confident in, your schooling, and that you're on the right calling and you're on the right path. Now, as far as frequency, intensity, and duration of these feelings of feeling less confident or less confident than you would like to be in your schooling, how would you describe that? Do you feel that every day? Do you feel that some days? How would you describe that?
Hmm. Well, definitely, like before this coronavirus thing, it was kind of motivating, like going to class, being in the classroom. And so it's kind of changed over the past couple of weeks, especially now with everything being online and just,
Hmm.
so I'm trying to think like even before this, like, I don't know, like maybe 2 or 3 days of the week, I'd, feel confident. Um, but it's just about, it's kind of like a back and forth kind of deal.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, maybe if I had to quantify it,
Hmm.
um, maybe 4 days, 3 days, 4 days.
4 days out of the week, and you feel pretty intense about these. Feel pretty intense about this. I mean, this is your career. This is a big, big move for you. How long would you
Yeah,
say that you feel like that? Is it all day? Is it part of the day? Is it just an hour or two? Or how would you describe the duration?
yeah. I mean, like sometimes it can take me out like um half the day, or for a few hours or so. Um, it just kind of takes somebody, my roommate, coming in and being like, "Man, what's up, dude? Like, what's going on?" Or when my mentors like calling me, like, "Bro, like, get on it. Like, you can do this." Um, but for me, it's hard for me to just combat it like myself, because like when I get in my head, it's like hard to get out of there.
Sure.
So
And now,
um,
when you're not feeling like you're in your head, or when you're feeling, really confident about that this is your calling and this is what God has called you to do, what does that look like?
mm, yeah, like I'm very thankful for the people I've met at CIU, and thankful for the opportunities it's provided, and I am actually blessed to learn. One of the professors, his name is Dr. Croto. He put it to me like this. He said that because I was just struggling one day. I was talking to him about CrossFit because I love CrossFit, and I'm like certified to coach and teach CrossFit. And um, he was like just telling me about like the different classes in seminary, and he's like, comparing that to the equipment that I use in CrossFit, and just saying, hey, it's just like that. It's like a tool belt for you to use. You can pull out Greek and pull out hermeneutics and pull out, all these classes, and you have the training and all, and so I really enjoyed that because he's like, I know what a kettlebell is, but like you can probably move it a lot more efficiently than me. Same
Mhm.
thing with like a class, like I'm educated in this, I teach this, and so don't look at seminary as like some dread, just allow it to be a tool belt for you. And so, uh, yeah, I like that.
Oh, that's great.
And when
So
I'm,
when you feel more like
yeah,
school is instrumental and, it's a tool that you can use in getting towards your goal, when you look at it like that, when you reframe it like that, it seems a lot more
mm,
positive for you and you feel a lot more like confident in what you're doing.
yeah, especially like some of the Old Testament survey classes. Like I went from like, man, the Old Testament to like, man, like God's the same yesterday, today, and as tomorrow. And like, I mean, I started preaching, and like 4 out of my 5 sermons were from the Old Testament. So, uh, yeah, it was good. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of positive to it.
Well, that's very good. That's great. Um, so now I want you to do a little exercise with me. It might require a little bit of imagination. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you to close your eyes. Um, So, if you were to go to sleep tonight and you were to wake up tomorrow and your problem was completely solved, what would be the first sign that this miracle has occurred, or what would be different about your day that you would know that you're fully confident in what you want to do, and this is what God has called you to do, and you don't have any more doubt in your mind? What would it be
Hmm. I think I just had to wake up and get in the Word, get a little bite to eat my breakfast, and be like, hey, I'm gonna knock out my homework, and just yeah, go train my clients, and just take life as it is, and just trusting in God, ensuring that my intimacy with Him is on key, and yeah, just like, 'cause, I just like to do a good job in everything that I do, and so um, just ensuring um, that hey, I'm like gonna go write this paper, but it's good because it's for God's glory, and I'm not gonna always have to do this, but
There's an end.
just
There's an end in sight. It's just a couple years of your life. That's also true.
yeah, but just yeah, just being real with what the task at hand, and knowing that like um, it's for a purpose. So
Maybe being able to look at seminary as an ends to a means instead of or as a means to an end instead of just an end goal. It's something that's helping you get to where you want to go, and just looking at it as a means to an end and viewing it like that. And you said having your
yeah,
schoolwork done will make you feel more confident and like you're ready to take on the day. And maybe hopefully with that study schedule that we're going to implement this week, we can help you achieve that.
yeah, yeah,
Does that
that's
sound like
good.
something you would like to work for and you would be willing to do?
Yeah, no, I got my little profession, and I can't wait to figure out a schedule that would really work because yeah, it wouldn't make sense for God to lead me to something that He never called me to and just kind of mess me all up. So yeah,
Make you spend all this time and money on seminary.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Taylor. Well, thank you so much. I think we'll check in next week and we'll see how your study schedule went and see how your confidence level is, and we'll go from there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Absolutely. You too. Take care.